Sure, it sound right, boy. It sound right, boy. It sound right, boy. It sound right, boy.
All right. Welcome back to the Comfort Level Podcast with me, Jan and Shmani. We got a great show coming up for you today. But right now, a word on pride. The only excuse for pride in individuals or races is the fact that their own achievements. That's the fact. Their own achievement. That was written by Frederick Douglass. And further, it is not what we say that counts, but what we do. What matters is not what we wear. Our Malcolm X caps and Kente Club garments or the African art that adorns our home, but our accomplishments, what we have achieved. While the exterior expressions of cultural pride have their function, they are practically meaningless if not accompanied by action. So, a lot of us in my culture, we use the phrase, I'm Black and I'm proud. I'm Black and I'm proud must be followed by I make A's at school. I excel at my profession. I can feed, clothe, and educate my children. I can care for my parents in their advanced years, or whatever is appropriate for us at this time in our lives. I'm just saying, let Black is beautiful extend to Black is active, Black is productive, Black is responsible. Then we can indeed be proud on this day. I'll take 5 minutes and then I'll look at a symbol of my pride, my heritage, my ex-cat, my family photos, African cloth, and just try and see that just as that, a symbol to inspire me to greater excellence throughout the day. So today we're going to focus on self-love and self-help, and I'm going to bring Christine Foxwell in a few minutes. Okay, and those of you that haven't been here, welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast. We're here at WCMD Media in Camden, New Jersey. We're located at 1656 Kane Avenue. And we're a community, my podcast, we are a community-based platform exposing the voices of the voiceless to bring awareness to brands created by our people for our people. We use our voices to share truth, creativity, encouragement with our listeners to nurture and heal and inspire them in hopes and our efforts to make the world a better and more empathetic place. Here at WCMD Media and Dare Academy, we're becoming part of the spotlight for the County of Camden to build and enhance the quality of lives by bringing awareness to the outlets and programs and self-help. Now, our guests, they range from independent entrepreneurs to mainstream music artists, creators, city and county business, and all kinds of officials as well. We're also bringing independent music, not to mention great visual from our surrounding city and areas that support our city, either, directly or indirectly. I apologize about the screen. Little sometimes, I'm moving around, it jumps. So with that being said, I have a video. Hopefully you guys can watch. I'll bring it in for you. And you guys take a look at this.
Look at me. The Bible says, as a man thinks in him, you'll become that. So if you think you can't do it, 9 times out of 10 you won't be able to do it. But you just said you know how to do it. So you can do it. You're just not used to the fight. But in real life, you're going to have to fight, man. I can't just let you just go through this just like formality. Move. There you go. Breathe. Don't get out scared. Move. Get behind him, breathe. Not pull a sweep. Harder. Get behind. It's not a kick, it's a hook. Pull it strong. Pull it down and sweep at the same time. Let's go.
Pull down.
How that? So you don't have another reason. You know? Watch this. Let that go. Let that go. You just gotta try again. You understand? There's no failure like that in me. You understand?
Yes, sir.
So shake that. Okay. I'm with expressing the emotion, but you can't let it fool you. You gotta learn now. Okay. You did great. This is a stretch for you. Okay. You did great. You're growing. Okay. Next time, the Katie pass Thursday.
No.
You're growing. Don't ever let anyone or anything make you feel bad because you're learning. Do you understand? If I just let you pass some, I would do you a disservice. Because you think you got something that you don't have yet, but you're getting it. Pay attention. First thing you can't do when he comes, I can't do this because I'm froze now. And your hand says, you gotta have this framed against his waist. Because it allows these things to get out. But when fear and anxiety kick, this hand is here. And now I'm done, I gotta go to another technique, which you don't know yet. This is the sweetheart. So he comes, I brace, I get out. I don't move anymore. From here, I'm coming to his collar. This foot is not a kick. It's a hook. I'm gonna hook you. Stay connected and lift it up. You got it? We're drilling. We're drilling down. You put it in, you don't want to do it. So you've grown. You understand? And you'll pass this time. Ask your dad, Mr. Brown.
Sir.
What did I tell you? Did I tell you I was nervous?
Yeah.
Why was I nervous? Look at me. Why do you think I'm nervous if you test it? Because what? You building?
I've been working hard. Look at me.
I was nervous because I want you to do well. I know how much your fight is to overcome passivity. And I don't like failing my recruits, my boys. But it's a part of life. It's written that the righteous fall 7 times and still arise. That condition makes you strong. You understand? You don't expect you to get this stuff immediately. You want to know how gifted you are, unique. Your style, your whole demeanor is unique, just like every last one of them. And so the Most High teaches us through His Spirit different. And at His time, not what we said. Do you understand? So don't put no pressure on yourself. In His time, you will get there. And that's my responsibility, not His responsibility. Your brother's the way. If you don't learn, we need to teach. Do you understand? Pick up ready.
All right. Hold on,
The
guys.
East Bank community remains on edge after the grisly discovery
of 2 bodies.
This is the second homicide we've had.
All right. So
Are we sure this is a homicide?
I'm trying to stop it.
Has Dad said anything about what's
My
going
bad.
on?
All right, we back. It's cool. Sometimes happens like that. Okay, so anyway, the point of the video was you have to fight through your failure. You know, be strong. You're going in the direction that a higher being, which is God, whichever God you serve, is leading you. So you have to hold on to that, fight through. Nothing's a failure. If you don't try, it's a failure. So what we're leading into is a little bit, a lot of self-improvement, something that we all need. But we posted that video courtesy Paula Weinstein Ellis. Thank you so much.
Right, facts.
Facts. She's been paying attention, and she also knows that we would like to bring martial arts training with some of the top teachers in the United States and overseas to WCMD in Camden. We also have a guest coming through, Grandmaster Daryl Khalid, not today, coming through to check out the facilities, and we're presenting it, to the higher people. We're not going, we all got a higher bid, so we would like to present it to them to see if that we could teach the students, bring in, funding and what have you, and have a martial arts school that all winds up, they're going to tell it, but it all winds up with children and adults in the community ending up with a PhD in martial arts.
Right, thanks.
Which will help. We believe that WCMD is going to be the #1 spotlight in Camden if we can get this program afoot here on the facility. So I'm gonna run through this real quick because we got about 10 minutes before we're gonna bring our guests in, Christina Foxwell, and she's gonna let us know a little bit. But I want to say a few things, man. me and Papers. Papers is here. He didn't say it. I give him a chance to say hello.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Paper Man back with a banger, man. Here with James Spaney on the Comfort Level Podcast at WCMD Radio Media. We doing our thing today. We have a lot of self-improvement classes and stuff like that going on. We're teaching self-help and not being a failure and stuff like that. How always having a plan, even though God is the best planners of all planners. We're just trying to put some structure into your life. Just don't give up. So like,
yes. So you asked, what is self-improvement? Let's define it.
Oh, self-improvement. Okay. The definition of self-improvement is self-explanatory. Self-improvement is the improvement of one's knowledge, status, or character by one's own effort. If the quest to make others better in any facet of life, you know what I'm saying? So self-improvement almost always starts with self-awareness, and ability to transformate your habits if you're serious about transforming your life into improving yourself.
It's a time for humans to be seen and heard and valued. We acknowledge that being human is about being connected, being willing to tell your story. We do that in music a lot. So, right. So that we can be better together.
Absolutely.
So to help people grow, we need to learn and lead from compassion, honesty. And today we just had, it's not just today we started telling human stories.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Human stories are unforgettable and yet needed. We are not perfect. We are humans, and we learn to know how to stand next to one another. We are rewarded with belonging and purpose and happiness and achievement. So ignite your purpose, man. At the end of the day, ignite your purpose. Ignite what's inside of you that you need to get out so that you can be the best that you can be. That's all I say. You know what I'm saying? Give yourself a chance to, prove yourself to the world. Yes. And,
So Ignite Purpose is a company founded and ran by Christina Foxwell. Okay. And get ready to give her a little shout out so to get ready to bring her into that. So we can talk about her business.
Yes.
So give me a second here so I can invite her. And they can still see it, so we can keep talking.
It's all about being an innovator.
Yeah, I can't.
All right.
You see him?
Okay.
Is anyone here? Put Tina. Oh, wow. Why is this? It might be on. Oh, I think it's on. I had it. Where? That was her name?
Yeah, it was there.
You spell it?
Yeah.
You sure?
Good.
No, that's something else. I can't get to it at all. Sorry. Just set up here. Well, Papers, keep telling them about something. It's not on here. All right, I gotta, cause it's on Sparks page. It's ridiculous. I'm not gonna find it here.
So you gotta come up.
I gotta come out of his page. I'm in his page.
Yeah. Well, it's all about building self-help and awareness and structure in your life, and that's what
Give me 1 second, guys, so I can get her in here. She's waiting for at 5:25, so I'm gonna look for her on here.
That's
and get it.
That's what karate instills in us structure. You know, the will to not give up just because things went wrong in some kind of way. You got to keep pushing, keep showing adversity, jumping the hoops, you know, jumping through the loops every time, you know, a wall gets in front of you. You know, you got to keep pushing, and that's what karate brings, self-discipline.
Yeah, so tell them how we trying to get this up here. And we're still not getting in here. All right, I'm gonna send it by email because I'm on his page. His page is tapped into mine and it's not working. So this is what's gonna have to happen. Take the message out. Okay. This is what's happening. I had to invite her by email, so I'm gonna send her a little text and tell her to check her email real quick. And then when she gets that, she'll be on. Little glitch. I'm sorry. I had to reach it the long way. Oh my God. So that's her thing. So can't go anywhere on that. Mm-mm. You can't. There's nothing to read. That's for her. We rather still went farther. Give me a second.
Yeah, we had a show last night that was dope as I don't know what, man. Shout out to
Where were you?
we was down Erie Avenue, I think like somewhere around Renango or somewhere. It was real dope. It was Ryan Murder had I think he threw a show, another show. It was dope. Had a nice little event. It was packed in there. I mean, the ladies was out. Everybody was enjoying themselves. Everybody was hot last night. Yeah, shout out to For Show. He came out. Shout out to New 46th Street. Shout out to Chill Out. He was there. Who else? My cousin T came through. She was in the building. Audemars J, Playoff Kev.
Yeah, wow, very nice.
It was a bunch of dope artists there yesterday. It was this squad that was there last night. It was like they was like the Doublemint twins and shit. Like, they was like doing they bounce with their music. It was like real. It was real. There was like a. I ain't touching them. It was like a. It was like a. They were like a salt and pepper type rendition. It was real dope.
Do you know what's going on tomorrow in Philadelphia?
Tomorrow,
At the Man Music Center?
something going on.
Concert.
Oh, it is? Yeah, but I know somebody gonna be at the Dell tonight.
Oh, yeah, with the Dell's kicking in. I'm
The
talking
Dell
about
gonna be-
Neo, Saweetie.
Oh, yeah.
Everything is all free, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
it'll be
good.
all free. I'm gonna go live on Instagram if I can, but waiting for Christina. I sent her a message.
So we waiting on
I'm waiting for the guests to come in.
the 19th. The 19th, we having an all-white party on Alany Avenue, 8th and Alany. We're going to be streaming live, WCMD media. We're going to be streaming live from the all-white party with Aziz. He's throwing a party, all-white party, Casino Royale setup.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
I'm gonna be hosting. So I'm gonna be hosting for WCMD
So let me try to get
Janice Manny Comfort Level Podcast, and I will be hosting for Aziz right alongside my cousin. We're going to be doing our thing. Shout out to I don't remember her name, but shout out to my cousin Mrs. Smith. It's his daughter. We're going to be hosting the show together, so we're going to have a fun time at night. So if you guys are anywhere up Albany Avenue, come on through and hang out and chill out and deal with the fun festivities with us. There's going to be vendors there, a lot of vendors, big spacious place. They have an upstairs deck. The stage is big. The eatery spot is big.
I'm not gonna get it.
So it's going to be real fly. And also, we got something coming up Friday at Grindhouse too. Grindhouse, Ron Murder is having something again at Grindhouse on Friday. And it's going to be a dope event again.
There it is.
So that's going to be a dope event. Oh, and I do got to give another event is coming up. Shout out to Simply Monica. She got the show coming up with MC Light on September 5th.
Oh, nice.
That's going to be dope.
Did they have today? I think they had, no, it was yesterday. They had B Smooth, Smooth B from Nice and Smooth, Sister Talia, no, Nice and Smooth. I think they're there tonight at the Dell.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They told me about the Dell. It's going to be popping tonight.
Trying to get the guests to pop in.
So make sure y'all go get the tickets at Simply Monica. Her tickets is $40 for entry, $75 for VIP. So it's going to be a real dope event. MC Light going to be in the building September 5th.
That's huge.
Yeah, that's definitely going to be huge. I'm going to definitely be there. I gotta see MC Light.
That's huge. That's huge.
Plus my mom know her.
Your mom know her?
Yeah, see, they used to be at my mom's house all the time back in the day. All the stars, Will Smith, everybody. This is Tina.
I don't know, she's calling on the phone. Not on the speaker. I told her to call this, but she didn't say video call. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Please, Tina, if you're watching the show, please, in your inbox, in your Facebook Messenger, the link is there. I can't Zoom on this phone. No video on this phone. This is a calling line. I only can take you on speakerphone. I apologize. My guest is trying to come in here. I have to understand she's calling in from Sydney, Australia. So I really apologize today. But I had it under control. No, she has the messages in there. She's not looking at them. I sent them. Nothing outside of it. All right, I'm gonna play a song while we're waiting on her because this is crazy.
Yeah, just go on your messenger, Christina.
Oh, I just...
Shout out to Authentic. Taking a break right now.
Talking to creator, my nigga, nobody greater. Smooth operator, around the equator. Check my behavior, I got the flavor. Now pick up your calculators, cause if from the bottom layers, the common denominator. I want it, niggas is only performers. All authentic, play the block, just spinning in corners. Now motherfuckers was tripping, they knew the procedure. Take note of the Nino while he smoking Cohiba. Off the stretch, the architect, nigga, that's hard to catch. Your order chest, get off the deck, nigga, what y'all expect? That's all correct, talk correct. Better guard your neck, pull your car select, watch it all perfect, struck Gillette. Criminal ways, you think about some shit that you paid. I'm talking difference in styles, I'm talking difference in age. Now you can bring out the flip, I'm talking instant parade. Now when they dig in your pockets, you start to dig in your grave. Now this original made with difficult phase, subliminal shade. Nigga, it's the army, it's the brigade. Give them the plague and get rid of shades. It's quick as it blaze, with trippers for days. Don't make me have to pick up the gauge. My nigga, it's in the cars because I get it in spades. I mean, stop that, pop that, cripple his legs. I mean, that's just the system we made. Stay consistently raised. Next level, start pitching grenades. If they knew better, they do better. How you better than me? Because my past life is much more than what you ever could be. My present life is futuristic, but the future that I see even makes me have a fucking new impression of me.
Oh yeah,
Oh, there she
that was
goes.
my guy. All right, hold on 1 second. There we go.
Good morning, or should I say,
apologize. I run so many pages that I was connected to my artist's Facebook. And I'm like, oh my goodness, wasn't time to even figure out the password.
listen, easy, easy. You made it easy. Thanks, Janet.
Yeah, welcome to the Comfort Level Podcast. Our guest is Christina Foxwell. I'm
Yes,
so
Christina
excited to see
Foxwell.
her.
Hello.
This is my co-host. His name is Papers.
Hi, nice to meet you, Papers.
Nice to meet you too, Christina. I love your accent.
Oh, well, so we had told our viewers that it's time for humans to be seen and heard and valued from your words, and that we acknowledge being human is about being connected, being willing to tell our stories so that we can be better together.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're here to see how you can help us ignite our purpose.
Yes. So Christina, yes. Tell us a little bit about your background.
Company and background. Yes.
All right, I just had to switch the light on because it wasn't on. Well, I'm actually an African-born woman. And as you can see, I've got nice kind of caramelly color skin, beigey. And I grew up as a white girl in South Africa, yet I wasn't allowed to go out in the sun and tan. And because, when I tan, I go chocolate. And in order for my family to be safe and to live a good life, that was kind of the thing that had to happen. And we were classified as white. But you know what? I think this was probably one of the first lessons I had in belonging, acceptance, understanding. Because when I grew up, just to find a place where I felt I belonged was really hard. And I think I experienced, without it being an overt, intention of people, disconnection. And I was scared. I mean, everyone out there must know if you're a little bit different, you're worried, right? But I think, but I think the reverse is true as well. When someone's a little bit different, we're worried. So I want to kind of give us both sides of the coin. Because I think as human beings, as soon as there's difference, we separate ourselves. Okay. And the challenge is when we're standing separate to each other, we can never get curious about each other. We can never learn about who we really are because we're protecting ourselves. And, I think it's easy to judge, man. I'm working on my judge. I spent 30 minutes this morning being mindful. I went for a walk, had a coffee, because it's my morning and it's your afternoon in the US.
Yes.
But I just think it's easy to step into recognizing what we're not versus recognizing what we could be.
Wow. We're taking it all in because like some of these things we haven't even recognized ourselves. Like I'm taking it all in. Like
Yeah.
when did you decide to work on your own character?
Where I'll give you this thought. Like, I had to prove my worth every day. Anyone know what that feels like, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I had to prove I was good enough. So my dad was a Pentecostal pastor. Like, I mean, I grew up with God as the center place of our world. And yet when I got divorced, I could no longer stand in ministry, no longer be in the music group, no longer, because my life wasn't an example of what it needed to be. Sorry, there's a garbage guy moving past me. Anyway,
That's okay.
and so instead of this community that I'd grown up in, showing me love, empathy, understanding, recognizing I was wrestling, I was ostracized from this beautiful community. And that was my first kind of wrestle. So I raised my little girl on my own. She now works with me, by the way, and she is a beautiful, wise voice in my life. I am great. And I'm a granny, and my grandson is the most beautiful thing known to humankind.
I know.
But I think all those things, you had to prove you were good enough. You had to prove you could be a single parent and take care of your daughter. You had to prove to people you weren't going to be what everyone thought you would be. Like, I wonder what she's going to be in her life. Come on, do you hear judgment? Do you hear the judgment? Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, and then I get married to the same man again, and everyone goes, woo, and then I divorce again, and woo, and so, so the journey goes, and the judgment layers itself, right? And I start working in a space where I'm in recruitment. I did really well. I set up previously disadvantaged call centers in South Africa. I was so excited. One of the call centers I set up was for African women that had no advantage before, and it was really exciting. Wow. And then I had temps working for me, and I used to hug them and hold them. They'd get on a taxi, get mugged, come back in. There was no money left for the week. It was really an interesting space to work in. And then I decided I can't keep putting people in organizations and not teaching organizations how to treat them better. Okay. So then I went into organizational change. And as a single parent, man, that was wild, because I had to work in another city. So I had to commute every morning and every evening, an hour and a half each way. So I had to get my little girl into a homeschool where the teacher just loved me and would take care of her from early morning to late evening for me to get home. Right. So do you see how I was trying to prove? So I was pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing. Yes. And then I'll tell you this gift. I fall in love with a guy from Australia who's British, and we were on an executive team in Canada. Can you imagine? We went to this conference. I come to Australia on my own with my 2 kids because I'm that powerful. Come on. Yeah. I have to share with you, that power was getting heavy to carry.
Yes.
Because here's the challenge, like the more you push yourself, the more you don't work through the shit, sorry for the word, that you've got to work through.
No, you're out.
You're kind of ignoring it, you're pushing it to the side, and you're going, that stuff, I'm just going to pretend it's not there, and I'm just going to be powerful. Yeah. Well, eventually the power started crushing me.
Right.
Okay. Absolutely. Because
that before.
Yeah, we're not made to carry, I call them shame bags. We're not made to carry those shame bags.
Yeah,
okay,
like a shame bag. You're exactly right. Oh my God.
It reminds me of Erykah Badu's song, Bag Lady. So.
Yeah, it's shame bags. Yeah. And you know what? We think I'm strong, so I'm going to teach everybody else to be strong to carry these shame bags. Well, can't I just stand next to you and say, hey, you're good enough the way you are. Do you want to put it down? It's okay.
Take the weight off. Wow. How do we do that, Christina? How do we start?
Well, we choose to love ourselves first.
Facts. Mm-hmm. You have to love yourself to be able to do anything for anybody else. You can't love nobody else without loving yourself first.
Thank you, Papers, 100%. Like, how can I?
We love ourselves. We always say we love ourselves, but then we turn around and we just do things that are damaging and feel like we hate ourselves sometimes.
Exactly, because it's the cycle. We get caught in the cycle. Okay, so I've just released a book called Grow Me.
Okay.
And so if you've got unlimited Kindle, it's free. So I would suggest you get it.
Oh yeah, I'll definitely.
Right.
I'm gonna text my wife now. Yo, go ahead. By Christina Foxwell.
Because I wrote my story in there. Because I think we don't know where to start, but I've got to choose to start. So Janet, I mean, you said, how do we start? Well, I've got to recognize that I matter. Yeah.
You try to type in. He said about Miss, you can't do that. They go on there and they'll find looking for Miss Foxwell. It gotta be Christina. Is it under Christina or Tina?
It's under Grow Me. Oh yeah, no Tina. Like everyone who loves me calls me Tina.
Only friends can call you that.
I'll send it to you. I'll send you the link.
You did already. I have it.
Oh, do you? Okay, good. So Grow Me. It's Grow Me, Christina Foxwell. And it's got me with my hands like this or laughing. I don't know what it is. Okay. And it's like a goldy color. Do you see it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're not on it right now. We wanted to post it up so our viewers can see it, so they can get it.
Okay.
So I've been sharing the link to your website.
Thanks, Janet.
Purpose.com/AU.
Now tell us more about the book.
Listen, I think I had a big launch yesterday, virtual launch. I haven't done it in US time, man. I really got to sort myself out. I did it in Africa time and UK time and Australia time. I wrote it because we don't know where to start, which was Janet's point. Where do we start? And I think we start by recognizing that as you're going to read this book, you're going to have triggers go off for you. And triggers are your lighthouse moments. Okay. Think of that. The triggers we have in life are our lighthouse moments.
Lighthouse.
Okay. So there's a lighthouse. My trigger's going off. I could keep going, but I'm going to hit the shore, man. Or I could go, there's a lighthouse. What is it telling me? What should I be doing? Should I be turning? Should I be reflecting? It's the lighthouse moment. I think as soon as we have a trigger, I try and make it your fault. So I'm not seeing it as my lighthouse moment.
Oh, so it's like taking responsibility equally and sharing it.
Oh yeah.
Instead of being one-sided. I like that. That's dope. Listen. Oh, I can't wait to get her to download that.
Because here's the thing. Like, even if I think about my first husband, he was a riot squad policeman when Nelson Mandela came out of prison, right? And when we had the big elections. And he was only young. And what he saw was people running into bars, shooting other people to death with AK-47s, carrying bodies out, promising this guy, you're not going to die. And when he comes back with the next body, this guy's gone.
Amen.
And, you know, that trauma and that fear. So then he comes home to this tiny little woman who has had a honeymoon baby, which is a wild and woolly experience anyway, you know. Very pregnant, and he's a sports player, so he's got all this stuff going on for him. And he's 23 years old, and he doesn't know how to be the best he can be. And I'm 21 years old, and I don't know how to be the best I can be. And instead of us being able to find our way toward each other, we find our way separate from each other. And you know what? It's domestic violence, but I think at the end of the day, I didn't use my voice the right way. I didn't know how.
Yeah, because you could have been the voice of reason in that whole situation instead of being, you know, the fall of it too, you know, because he was falling too. So you should have been that rock at the same time. And I guess that's what you're giving out in the book, how to be that rock for somebody, you know.
And like she said,
and the rock is here.
Yeah.
But sometimes you don't know how. Like,
don't know how. How do I show someone empathy and love when I'm hurting?
And lots of times they don't want it. So that makes it it makes it even harder.
Listen, I have to use a phrase from my son. So my son, when he was 15, he told me his life was grey, and he wouldn't go to school, and he was being bullied terribly. I didn't know, because he used to say, "Mom, I don't look white on the outside, but my DNA says I'm white on the inside. So what the hell, man?" And I was like, "Dude,
I like that.
I said, dude, just go with it, man. You are just a beautiful, like, brown-eyed boy, you know." And anyway, he was going through tremendous stress and trauma. My trauma didn't make his better.
Right.
Okay, so I'm calling that out. And I'm sitting in the car, and he's sharing how great he is, and I'm feeling anxious. And I was like, dude, you just got to do. Come on, man. And he said to me, I need you to stop. Stop inserting yourself in my life. I need you to be with me, and I don't need you to fix me.
Yes. Ooh,
Wow.
big one.
Boom, boom.
If
Big one.
if there was
Now what?
if there was a secret inside of a book, I think it's in yours. 'Cause-
Do.
Yeah. It might be in there because you're making some great points. Like, I want to know what happened. What did you do? What was it?
Oh, well, so I went and sorted myself out.
Yeah.
Because I sat in a family counseling meeting with him, and you have to laugh, because like I run a practice in Australia, so I was on my way to travel for a week, leave him with my husband, and they love each other, by the way. But here I come into this counseling session with 3 suitcases, man. 2 of them are filled with equipment, the work I'm going to do, the learning stuff, suitcases, bags and shit, and then my clothing. And so I wheel all these bags in. I come in, my husband and my son come in, and the counselor sits down with us. And I've got a cab that's going to collect me at a certain time, so I'm off to the airport. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yeah.
And it was 3 years ago, and I'd learned all of this, but I'd not learned it here.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not in my heart,
Not in your heart.
because I didn't know how. And we're sitting there, and she said to me, Christina, do you think you can slow your career down a little bit and maybe be at home more? I said, lady, are you out of your mind? I said, do you see that man there? He could let me down and I pointed at my lovely husband. He could let me down at any moment. He could leave me. He has no obligation to be with me for the rest of my life. So I am the only one here. Now, Jen is laughing. I'm the only one here. Do you see that child? He is my child. I'm responsible for him. I will take care of him. So I said, and so you're asking me to take food out of his mouth. Do you hear I'm living in fear? Food out of his mouth by not work. Are you out of your mind?
Right.
Yeah.
So I have one of those moments, right? Those are lighthouse moments.
Where you could have said, I'm sorry, I just can't do that at this time.
Right. No, that's real.
That's me, though. That's what they say about me. I was going to Howard. No, are you nuts?
Are you nuts?
That's me.
Okay, so here's what she did. After that meeting, she phoned me and she said, Christina, you've got trauma. And I'm going to keep working with your son, but all I'm going to ask you to do is get somebody to work with you to help you. I was like, what do you mean, man? I'm a coach. I'm like a power girl. You know, I'm carrying the shit. She was right.
She's right.
She's right. She's right. And so I cried, man. That trip I cried, lots of tears. And then I started Googling trauma counselor. Have you ever tried to find a trauma counselor coach who knows your work, who knows the stuff you believe in? Because you kind of want to go in the direction where you don't feel judged. Who wants to go into a trauma counseling session, right? And I found this guy. He actually studied in the US. He's a doctor of psychology, Dr. Robert Fullerton. He's now living in Australia. And he was actually part of my team for a short while on some of my projects. I said, Robbie, I need you. Can you work with me? And the first session we had, I talk about it in my book. He said, what do you want to get out of this? I said, I want to be free. I just want to be peaceful and I want to be free. And I started crying. And the amount of times he held me in those sessions and just let me weep it away and release that pain was amazing. And of course, I did a lot of work. So I didn't just expect him to do that. It's my work. It's not his work. I got to do the work, not
Right.
him. I got to change my world, not him.
I bet you he learned a lot of things from you.
Well, I think he did.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
think
not
he did.
just about you, but maybe probably about himself. You know, because sometimes, you know, I think a little bit that those psychologists and stuff like that, sometimes they don't understand a few things. They go their textbook. It's just like you go to
Exactly.
the doctors and they say, well, if you take this pill, it'll do this for you. Well, my body's not letting it do that for me with this pill. So I'm different.
Well, I'll tell you this, Janet, because I was relentless in my search for freedom. It wasn't up to him, it was up to me. He was only a supporter along the journey.
Facts. Just
Okay.
a supporter, right? Don't want to.
He's a supporter along the journey. He's a supporter along the journey. It's my journey. So
Right.
I choose to walk.
See that?
Okay. And I'll tell you something else. My husband's English, as I've said, and I love Paris, by the way. Anyone been to Paris in Europe?
No, I
Man,
haven't.
it's a beautiful place. I never thought, as a hungry single mommy living in an apartment with other women so that I could feed my child, I would ever get to Paris. I never thought that. Okay.
My daughter's going to get me there.
Claim it. And so anyway, I'm
We're
sitting on the
graduate already. She's doing travel reviews.
Listen, I love traveling, but I sat there. So I'm sitting on this train between London and Paris, and I'm writing an article because I write reflections when I work with people so that I can put it out there so other people can learn. And it was about legacy because I was working with a leadership team, and there was so much pain. And the leader that I could see that was leading this team would punch them verbally versus understand them. And the legacy she was leaving was really, really painful. And so I'm sitting on this train. I pick up John Maxwell's book. Anyone know John Maxwell? Do you know John Maxwell's work?
No.
Anyway, he's in the US. So there's a book, and one of the things he was saying was character. And I was like, whew, man, my heart's arrested now. Because if I'm going to leave a legacy I'm proud of, the thing I have to work on every day is who I am, my character. And lighthouse moment. Do you hear my lighthouse moment again?
Yes, I do.
Okay. But I think we need to start listening to our lighthouse moments and not get shame or guilt from them, but get curious about them and own what we can and walk through the fear.
Right. There's too many distractions out here. So how do you curve off the distractions that may come from, the lighthouse moment, but how do you deter the distractions of the sea and the birds and stuff like that?
I love that.
Sure.
You get quiet.
Okay.
Quiet?
Okay.
You get quiet.
I see what you're saying.
So you
The brain.
You have to listen.
You get quiet. You find ways to, what does my son say? Calm that farm.
So it's like meditation in a sense.
Just calm the mind. I love mindfulness. So I did a walk this morning, and I was listening to one of the people that I listened to the calm. There's many things you can do, and all I was listening to was the birds, my feet on the tar, my legs, because I've got tiny little legs and they were a little bit achy. And every time my mind went boom, I just said, okay, cool. I know I'm thinking about that. How does my breath feel? Oh, I'm back in my body again.
Okay.
So some research says only 15 minutes a day of being mindful, calming your mind, allows you to start shifting those trauma neural pathways, which is the brain pathways. 15 minutes a day. And the other thing I would suggest is you get yourself a journal. I'll show you quickly.
Okay.
This is my Love Me journal. I have to show you this.
Oh, wow.
Okay, I have a unicorn in there.
So who's that? Astra?
That's Astra.
That's Astra.
That's Astra. Astra's my story of belonging. And as I went through this journey of starting to remember who I am, remember who you are, I birthed Astra on a flight between one city and the other while I was working. She just came out of me because she was my story of belonging.
Yes.
And of love and of acceptance and of healing. And then, of course, now I've written Grow Me, and I'm about to write Free Me, and Free Me starts with an analogy of a glass angel.
Right.
I'm not even telling you about that right now because that is exciting, because that is the alchemy of healing, that book.
Yo, that's crazy because I have a book just like that. I mean, it's not a unicorn in it, but I actually...
Why?
I have one too.
It's exactly, you know,
I have one too.
what I put stuff in there that nobody else hears.
I got
it's a lot of
stuff.
spoken words and stuff like that. So,
Is it published? Have you put it out there yet, Janet?
no,
That type.
no, I haven't.
Okay.
I have 3 books that I have written, but I haven't published none of them. But that one book that you have, I actually have that, and it's off to the side. I really never let nobody hear anything. Anytime that I go into my mind, like you say, and I go and I sit down like somewhere like in a closet, a space, you know, it's just empty, and I just sit there and I read the things that I used to write that used to help me get through my time in prison. So
Yes.
I was already sat in a closet, and I had to think. I had to use this, what you were saying, that frontal lobe, and develop it.
Absolutely.
You know, more than I could my heart, because I couldn't love at the time. I couldn't love nobody, and I was married at the time. You know, been married for 13 years, but I couldn't love anybody else. You know, first, like you said, you gotta love yourself.
Gotta love yourself.
I love myself first, who I was, and that's when I finally figured it out. Because before that, I never knew who I was until I had that time,
And
to sit down, and it was, I found purpose.
I love that.
I'm the journal type writer, so I've like written so many like journals or diaries, whatever you want to call it, you know, poetry, everything. I probably have packed in a box that I don't ever go back and look at. But when I write, even though, like, you know, we got everything now, copy and paste and all that, the writing gives me pleasure.
Yeah.
So, and then, like, on the parts where you said you sit and you meditate and you listen to the birds or whatever like that. I mean, I got other problems, Christina. I don't like repetitious sounds. They mess with me. So the birds chirping, that stops me from sleeping in my bed. Because in the morning, they're going to be chirping and waking up. I'm not ready. You know what I mean? It drives me up the wall.
She needs to put an eye cover on and earplugs.
You know, Janet, I'll share with you a very simple way to be peaceful. And this is from Shazad Shamin's work. You take your 2 fingers and you just rub them together. And all you focus on are the ridges of your fingers. And your eyes can be open or closed. If your eyes are open, I would suggest you just zone out. You can close your eyes, rub your fingertips together, just feel the fingertips, feel the ridges, feel the nail on your hand. Rub both hands together very slowly and feel the one hand, feel the little grooves in your palm. Just focus on that.
Yeah, I can handle.
Okay. And just breathe slowly in and then out. Okay, you can open your eyes.
That was a little
Oh, wow. Yeah, that felt great, right?
Okay, so that gives your brain a mental breather.
Okay.
Just give your brain a mental breather.
Yes,
You're worth it.
Right.
Because you know what? Here's the thing. Do you remember, both of you, when you were little kids, a picture of you at your happiest moment when you were little, before probably all of life's good, crazy shit happened to you? Do you remember a picture of you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
I
tell
was
me,
happy. I
were you
was
happy?
We could walk around as little girls. We were flat tested and everything. We didn't even have to wear a shirt, just like the boys. They laughed at me. Like I see the
Absolutely.
picture now, they're laughing like you don't have a shirt on. Like nobody cared.
No, we were little girls, man. We were just safe. So describe some words. Think of yourself quickly. Close your eyes. Think of yourself and describe the beautiful words that you are as that little person. Come on.
I was skinny.
I was radiant.
Radiant. Yes.
I was so smart.
Ambitious.
Spelling.
Smart. Yes. What else? What else makes you beautiful?
I'm sexy and I know it. See the smile right here, Christina. This is the smile. Get them every time, you know.
I don't know what makes me beautiful. I don't know. When I was little, I was just happy.
Okay. So I'm going to get you to picture something with me. I'm 3 years old. My brother and I are only a year apart. He's sitting in a rock pool at the beach. To Janet's point, I don't have a little top on. I'm tiny. I'm like, my brother and I just used to run around with bottoms on. I'm leaning in, looking at him, and I'm beaming. And when I look at him, I love him. I'm cheeky. I'm filled with energy and joy and happiness and safety. I'm me. I'm me.
Wow.
You was free at that moment. Wow.
Exactly. I was free.
So that's why you want to be free again.
I was free.
Yes.
Wow. Okay, I got it.
Think about back in school, like I did a lot of things real early, so I didn't have a long childhood. So, all I see is me winning them spelling bees and getting all the big prizes. That's it.
This is a big time connection, how you made it turn full circle, how your conversation came back full circle at the end to where you started again. You know what I mean? That's a good conversation right there.
I believe in the full circle as well, because it's not the phrase "what goes around comes around," but I do believe you do go back to where you started, whether you come back, free or not.
Now, Christina, could you answer this question for me? Where do we lose that innocence? At that moment, you know what I mean? When do we lose that? How does that get snatched away from us? Is it life and what they say we're supposed to do, or tell me, or is it the
Okay, so we're born to survive.
Okay.
And part of what makes us human is our survival brain. And I'm going to use an analogy, please. I'm a good grandmother. I'm just got to position this before I use this analogy. Okay. So my little grandson, I'm washing him in a bucket in my lounge room because we want to watch TV while we're washing. We're just a lazy family. We're like a real human family. Like we got him in a bucket.
I can sense the realness inside you.
Thank you. I just am what I am. So I'm washing him. Yeah, I am what I am. I'm washing him and he's soaped up and he slips out of my hands. And he goes bloop, and I grab him. So whole head's underwater. I grab him. As I lift him out, his little hands go out, grabs the sides of the bucket and goes, you asked me a question. What happens to us? Why do we become who we are at times? Because we are naturally, instinctively fighting to live. And life happens to us. Our parents happen to us, God bless them. I've happened to my children. I've passed my trauma, I used that example earlier, onto my children without meaning to, with my best intention. I've passed genetic trauma onto my children because trauma happens genetically. We pass some of that stuff on.
Yeah, we do.
So when when we kind of hit, I think when we start realizing right and wrong, and we start realizing guilt and shame, we start building these layers of protection to protect us so we can survive.
So that's where the walls come in at.
That's the walls.
Walls and stuff like that. It's over time. So it's like starts from that first time that you had that that moment, and then boom, that wall is being put up and it's being built as life goes on. So that's why we become what we become later on in life. And then it's like, and then we want to be free again. Like you said, you want to be free again.
Yeah.
And then that's when you need to be free again. You need that support that you had a long time ago, that safety, where you felt safe, where you felt innocent, all that. That's what you needed. And when you finally got that back, then you was able to be liberated through the counseling that you had got. And it was like, you need somebody. And then you finally got that support. And then it gave you that liberation that you needed, that freeness. And so can I ask, are you free? Do you feel free now? Or are you like inching?
I'm
getting there, but not there all the way. But
I have another, and I'm with you. Paper. It's papers. So yeah, I'm going to give you an analogy. The thing that traps us is like a bird cage to keep us safe, right? Or an onion, but I'm going to use a bird cage analogy. So as I work through stuff and I start releasing and accepting, the bars come down, and those bars are built of shame and fear. Okay, the things that hold me trapped are the things that make me feel small, make me wrestle with my worthiness, make me feel that I've got to prove I'm good enough, make me feel that I can be loved. So, but all of those things are shame and fear related. So every time I work through stuff, I'm imagining, and this is my imagination, I've got this little screwdriver of love, and I undo the screw at the top of the cage, and the bar falls. The problem with that bar, it's got a bloody spring attached to it, because my brain is this amazing library, and it can take me to a place at times where I can not be thinking about it, and a trigger goes off me, something I haven't dealt with, but it's connected to that bar, to that spring, and before I know it, it's jumped up again to protect me, to keep me safe.
Right. Wow.
Okay.
Okay.
So me being free is me being peaceful, and it's me recognizing I'm going to have lighthouse moments till the end of my days, and that is okay.
Okay.
Now I noticed one thing.
Right.
You had an hourglass on your.
I do.
With purple sand. What?
I do.
Sorry, I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. It looks like an issue with the router and Echo device, so try restarting them. Unplug both of them, then plug the router back in. Wait 30 seconds. Once the router is back on and connected to the internet, plug in the Echo device.
Don't worry, my Apple Watch talks to me when I'm busy working with people as well. So don't worry. I like go, no, don't worry. It's just the watch. So the purple sand, right? So the purple sand, the box that I've got that the purple sand comes in, I've just got to read to you what I've written on the front of that box, because I think it's incredibly important, because it's for presence. Okay. So I give myself permission to take time, to breathe, to live life, to give, to love, to reflect, to be present, and just be.
That's okay. I read that.
Okay.
And so, you put that on your lip boxes?
That's the box that the little hourglass comes in.
Oh, it comes in. Okay.
So it's 4 minutes of just being present. And you saw we just did a quick activity of being present, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You can be present. I have these mindfulness bracelets too, man. I said to my team, you're one crazy lady you're working with, guys. It's just a bead. You can get beads anywhere. And what I do as soon as I can feel that fear or that anxiety or that tension, I know one of my bars are going to jump and bong me in the head, you know. Mm-hmm. I know I'm going to put my shield of protection up. I know I'm not going to be the me I want to be. So I grab my beads and I roll my hands across the beads, and I'm just present and safe. In who? In the knowing that I'm okay to be me. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay to be Tina, the little girl on the rocks smiling with love. It's okay.
It's okay.
It doesn't matter how old we get, we always reflect back to those moments, without realizing it, because, we never really have no recollection of it. We just have, like you said,
A photograph.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So it's just like, boom, and when it comes back, you just feel so overwhelmed. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
Yes, because actually I don't even remember like that photograph but when you spoke about watching TV and watching the sun, we came up, we used to bathe that same entire way. And I did reflect on some things that made me happy.
Totally.
kind of zoned on that. So, but does the color? Did you say that the color purple meant?
It's purple. Everything in my practice is purple and gold.
Well, lavender has plays a significant role in far
peacefulness.
as yeah, right. So yeah, my girlfriend really loves lavender.
Well, when I go walking, there's lavender bushes everywhere here. And I'll often just grab the top of the lavender and just smell it, because I do live in Australia, it's a wild, beautiful green country.
I'm pretty sure that the gardens out there is just like, oh my god, because that's what I do gardening, so I would love it out there.
Listen, man, the spiders are a gift.
Yeah, oh yes they are. Yes they are. I have big spiders like this, and they lay little cotton eggs and you wait for them to grow.
If you go walk down a pathway in springtime, the spiders they create their webs across the pathway. I'm lucky, I'm really short, so generally I don't walk into them. Right. My husband's 6'2", and he's got to worry that he doesn't have a spider plastered on the front of his forehead, when we go walking. But it's a beautiful place. And once again, if I look back on my life and I look back at those moments when I thought, is this what my life is? And I remember one phrase, I was destined for more than I'm experiencing right now. This is only a moment in my life. This is only one moment in my life.
Wow. I was hoping my girlfriend Paula would come on here and ask a few questions, but she's definitely on here listening in, but she's not saying anything
this is so inspirational.
But I want to ask, do you actually counsel people? And if you do, how does you have a team? So
I have
a website.
I have a team. So my daughter, Carolise Ahn, she's married to a Korean. See, we're truly a international family. That's right. Korean man. She supports me in all the behavioral assessments we do. So we work and we often get people to do a behavioral assessment so that they can better understand themselves. And especially when we're working with people to understand their communication styles and their motivators, she does all of that work for me. And she's my logistics queen. I couldn't do my work without her. She's amazing. And I have an assistant who sits in South Africa, and I've known her for over 30 years. I've known her since I was 17 years old. She was my first husband's brother's wife. Very complicated. And she organizes my schedule, and she's busy promoting our work in South Africa. And I'm incredibly grateful. And then I have got a communications manager, Nolene Lance, and she makes everything I do come to life visually.
Oh, okay. Shout out to Lorraine for doing that.
Shout out to the team. Yes. Because
I have a team.
That is very hard, to ignite people to trust your process. You know what I mean? So.
And it's imperfect. Like I don't say we're going to get it right every single time, but what I will tell you is I'll bring the best of me to the best of my ability, hopefully in the moments that count.
Well, I sure feel like I gained a lot of knowledge, a lot of help, and a lot of freedom from some of the things that have been, up in here and down in here within me. So I can definitely start to grow.
Grow.
Yes,
Yeah, no,
I
I'm-
have to grow myself.
Right.
This is what it's all about. I'm sorry, viewers out there in the world, but I'm a little selfish too. So are we allowed to be selfish?
Well, we allowed to take care of ourselves first, right?
Yes.
You cannot give what you do not have.
You gotta love me. I gotta love me. So that's why I asked Christina Foxwell to come on, and you guys make sure that you go get that book downloaded right now on Kindle.
Yes, I will be getting it today, and I will be reading it. Start reading it today.
We didn't tell them about Oscar, the
Pufferfish.
Pufferfish. He has a plush toy. And what is Oscar's story?
So Oscar is my son's story.
Oh yeah.
It's the story of my son, and it's the story of all of us when we are thinking that people will judge us and something happens and then we pop. So I use this analogy of a puffer fish. When it's a little fish, it moves like it's agile.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But as soon as it gets a fright, the lighthouse goes on, it goes poof. And then I say, it can't move, man. Like it's big and round and it can't move. And then it gives out all this poison to protect itself. And that is the humanity of who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is, if we're telling ourselves, I'm not good enough, somebody else is better, I'm comparing myself, they're not going to love me anyway, we're separating ourselves. We've popped already, man. We haven't even given them a chance to be connected with us. We're already like, and just remember, separation creates
anxiety fear, right?
It is. It's anxiety. It's the fear of worthiness. It's the fear of acceptance. Because we were made to be together as human beings, not separate.
Not separate, right?
Not separate.
But we separate ourselves through our fear.
Mm-hmm. Yo, it would be wonderful if every day that we can wake up and you know what, nobody would care. Because I have my baby mother now is she's your complexion. She's Jewish and black. You know, and she grew up white, but she's black. You know, so like being able to open up, you know, I want her to be able to get that. And with your book, I believe they should be able to get that from what you talked about today and how you open us up today in just a short moment of time, you know what I mean? Gave me that liberation that, hey, she can change. Because I've been trying to like help her out with her anxiety and stuff like that, and all the hurt from the past, and like you were saying, needing to be better and always judged all the time, you know what I mean, from any and everybody. Like it was a family member house that she when she would go over there, she couldn't use the bathroom, and it was like, wow. You know what I mean? Your own family, like, you know what I mean?
Things were.
So
that's how it was with the black and white issues.
And it's crazy when we should be living amongst each other and, you know, sharing love and you know, igniting each other's purpose, because it's more to this world than what we're living like. You know what I mean? It has to be, because if we're still looking for purpose and this is so-called purpose, what we're living in, and if we haven't found our purpose, what really is our purpose? What does the world have to offer? And we can't find it when you got people that's, you know, telling you how to act.
You have
and doing, you know what I mean?
You have to find it. You have to
Totally.
So, yeah,
totally.
that goes back to, and this is the statement I'm trying to make. When you know, other countries, they work to live. And what America does, we live to work. And it shouldn't be like that. We should be able to work to live, to embrace this big bad world that we live in, because we're only mustard seeds. You look down on us, we're the ants. And we're looking down on the ants like you're the ants, and when they look down on us, we're the ants. You know what I mean? And we're just trying to find our purpose. There's so much out there. So I get what you're saying totally. And I appreciate Christina.
I just want to say one thing about that. If you are alive, I heard this, Oprah was talking to someone and I was like, man, that's such a powerful statement. If you are alive, you have purpose.
Mhm.
And we all know what that purpose is, but we're scared of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay. And our journey in life is part of our purpose. But we've got to see it as our gift, not our curse.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I appreciate because it's crazy because all of us in this world, we so quick to say, hey man, I'm ready to die. I'm ready to do this. But then when it's time to die and everything,
Oh, Lord.
help me, please save me. You know what I mean? That fear sets in, you know,
Yeah.
that anxiety, that will, that power to want to live sets in because now you're actually going through it. And when you're saying that, oh, I'm ready to die, that's the same will, that's the same power. It's just that we use it in a negative aspect. But for real, we're giving ourselves power to want to live in all actuality because we're ready to die. We're filled with so much life that we're ready to give ourselves back to the dirt to start all over again, if that's the purpose. Nah, me and Christina talking right now. She knows that I'm talking. She knows. Yeah, listen, we're talking. She gets it. Am I right, Christina? You getting it? Oh no, it's weird. See, creative minds think alike. You know, we're talking.
Listen, I am just really, really grateful to sit here with both of you today. Honestly,
Very grateful that you came.
See, we always need people to get our gears rolling. You know what I mean? And we always need our gears rolling. When we could get somebody that has the program down fast and they're driving, why not get in the whip and ride with you? That's what we're trying to do.
Well, you know what? I don't believe one person makes a difference. I believe we all make the difference.
Yes.
And so hopefully me sharing just some of my story and my insights and my journey with you. And I'd love to stay. Janet, we're going to be connected, and Papers, we're going to be connected, you know. Because, you know, I think we've got to talk about this and we've got to empower people to be the difference. Everything in your life starts and ends with you.
Mhm.
Why don't you just show up for it?
Yeah, you just got to show up for it.
Just show up for your life. Come on.
Show up for your life. I'm like this. I feel like, you know, I'm a Christian of Baptist faith. And
Yes.
I believe everything is for a reason.
Me too.
We were created, we're put here, and in the situations that we get ourselves in. You know, it's like the other day, my girlfriend said to me about certain things that happened. I said, well, why are you looking at that? And the thing that you're supposed to be looking at is what he's showing you. All the stuff that you've seen that you're just focusing on is the past stuff. Like,
yes,
you know, like you rode by somebody and you just seen a glimpse of somebody from your past. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, a glimpse. So that show you, you know what I mean?
Totally.
Show you that you're free. Just like you said, you're free from that already. You know, so me, I'm just a realist in everything. You know, I'm straightforward. I'm real. I don't beat around the bush for nothing. And this, you know, and I just believe that the higher power is guiding, but we can't block it. A lot of us block it.
No, and I think to your point, God is love. So why are we not standing in love?
And we're not. And we have to find a way to change it. Even though we say it and we say it and we say it over and over, our actions, our pride, anything that involves anything in the world, you know, if somebody else is looking at them, they're going to show out and try to be what they want them to be instead of being themselves. That's the part that we need to control first. We have to free ourselves and be ourselves.
And I think, and I'm going to come back to this again, judgment belongs to us. When we're judging, It's here. It's my issue, not yours. It's mine. And if I believe you can be more, how can I help you see what you can't in a way that empowers you to be more, not less?
Exactly. And everything is not PTSD. You know, like some people think that, you know, they're suffering from something and it's just a matter of thought. The thought pattern, you know, you have to control.
Well, I think I like the word accept.
Accept.
Accept allows me freedom.
So what I think is like the technique that you were showing us, and I know you have a million more, is like a first step on breaking away from that name that they called you, PTSD.
Yeah.
Everybody is not PTSD. You know what I mean? It may be traumatic, it's some traumatic things, but that does not mean that you have a disorder.
I don't listen. All I'm going to say is, and all I know is that I never thought I had trauma until I realized the bags I was carrying and the stories that I was trying to prove I wasn't was too heavy for me.
Yes, but do you believe that your trauma was a disorder?
No, because I believe that we can step through anything.
Exactly.
I believe we can step through anything. And I will say this to you, as I said, I don't believe this journey is linear, Janet. I don't believe we can say, I've ticked it off my list. I am now healed. I've ticked it off my list. That thing will never come back to me. You know, I think we've got to be realistic that our brain is an amazing thing. And there are some trigger points we've never known are even there that will show up at times and, you know, possibly, you know, take us through that behavioral pattern again. And I think if we just practice enough presence and we're kind to ourselves, and, you know, sometimes I had to learn to say, I'm sorry, I just can't do that for you now. I'm really sorry. I'd love to be there for you now, but I just can't.
Yeah, you gotta say,
you know,
you have to say no.
I have to say no.
You have to, because you keep saying yes. You can't be a yes man, can't be a yes woman all the time. Yes, yes. Okay,
But it's not that. It's that sometimes you can't go into areas or situations or things that might set you back or hurt you. You have this is what you're doing. You're meditating so you don't do these things.
Exactly.
You do it. You gotta not do it and get back over here and
So Christina, I had 17 sisters, right? So it's kind of hard to say no to them. So yeah, the other day my sister called me and she like, hey, I need you. I need you. I said, all right, well, I have my kid today. I really can't come do it. Well, can you just put the kid in the car and just come down? I said, normally I would be like, you know what? Yeah. I was like, nah, I can't do it. She's asleep. I'm not disturbing her peace. You know what I mean? She has she needs to go. I'm getting my peace because she's up 23 hours of the day. You know what I mean? So
totally.
So I had to say no. And then when my wife finally came back, I said, hey, do you still need me? She texted, she said, no, I don't. It's all right. So I said, all right, cool. So then the next morning, she texted me, my car finally broke down. I need help. I didn't wake up till 11. 8. So my mother texted me back like, oh, you have an obligation to your sister, all this long drawn out stuff. And I just was like, no. I said, at the end of the day, I had to want to do it myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So like, give me the opportunity to want to do it. So I said no, and I felt good saying no. And you know what? I got a lot of stuff done because I said no.
So can I share with you what I'm hearing? Often we think in order to show love, we've got to fix things for people. And that is the challenge. if I try and fix things for you always, how do you ever learn how to show up in your own life? And so my job is not to fix things for you. My job is to be a supporter in your life, to tell you I love you, to be here for you. But your job is to do the shit that you have to do that makes your life better. I can't do that for you.
Right. Come on, Christina. Let's put our hands up. Let's put our hands up. Score. We just scored a touchdown. There you go. There you go.
Because I'm getting ready to read his card because he doesn't do anything. He depends on me to do everything. So I'm gonna read his card right here on Facebook National Podcast. So don't. This is the thing because no, I need to heal because that's my problem. I'm carrying the weight for a lot of people, and when it doesn't go right, they expect me to, like, well, why didn't you fix it? Why didn't you have a plan F? And I had plan A, B, C, D, and E. I'm struggling, and they don't want me to talk about it or understand it. It's not fair to me. He's sitting right here now, and he's going, oh, it's not right. We have to talk about it. We have to get it out.
Okay, since you want to do that, then boom, there you go. They open up the door.
No, we're not.
So when you give people structure sometimes to certain things, it's like sometimes people take constructive criticism as control. So with control, people feel like, no, I don't want that. So they feel like you're trying to take over or control the situation. No, not you. I'm talking in general. I never specify to one person.
Yeah,
I never do that. I always talk.
I don't want to cut you off. I don't like talking whole. I like to talk straight out. I like to talk to one person. That's why I said his name and I'm talking to him. Because the situation is between A and B. It's not a whole thing at once. I was just on the one statement. Not this.
Hey, Christina, see why we can't get off? We can't get nothing.
No, because I have to tell him how I feel about the one statement because he said it's a touchdown. Why you can't. But it's not. It's a foul for him.
Because when two people are talking at the same time, nobody's.
Can I ask you a question quickly?
He does it constantly.
Janet, is this your son?
No.
Oh.
This is an artist that I helped put his music out into the world. I did all the work.
Okay. Papers. You got to take accountability for your life, man.
20 books of music and he has only one published song.
You want to know why I only had one published song? Because I wanted only one published song. I don't want the world to know the rest of the songs, just not yet. I have my own organic moment. You know what I mean? See, I live life differently. And you have to understand how a person lives in order to understand them. You can't just force people to do things.
For that.
So are we having a love moment now?
Yeah, because I love him. I can't get so I lie.
So to understand me, Christina, I'm organic. I never like to rush things. I don't rush nothing. I don't.
You step into it. You step into it.
I wait for my moment. I don't push. I don't pull. I don't budge. I don't do much more than what I'm supposed to do. I do what I am supposed to do, and that's it. Nothing more, nothing less.
And that was the point when she was talking about how people helping each other, and then you agree with her, and you said score. I just was saying that you didn't help me, like certain things that I asked. You know what I mean? It's different. It's some things that I ask that he needs to do.
I'm very intellectual, Christina.
He's very
so I give a lot of advice, but people don't want to take it. So
you're intellectual, and Janet is practical.
Yes.
So you are the most beautiful gift to each other because you were sent to each other's lives to teach each other about.
He doesn't learn though. He doesn't. or this is the stuff that I teach him or whatever, because this is the reason why I'm reaching over him and all this stuff in the podcast. Because he wants to fight over the chair where he sits. He wants to fight over this and all this. And I told him I gotta do this. Well, if you learn this and everything, and I asked you, I said, okay, go ahead and type this in. Like, you can't type in Ms. MS Foxwell because first of all, you don't know if she goes by MS. And you can't find her work as MS Foxwell. He knows that I'm a stickler. Okay, put it this way. I'm not even gonna break all that down. I'm a stickler.
You're a stickler.
He's not.
Do you know? I'm going to share a quick thought with you.
That's my problem. Yeah, I have a problem.
Yeah. Janet.
Push people away by nitpicking.
Yeah,
Jan-
I
You
can
nitpick
push
too
people
much
away by nitpicking. I
instead
admit
of
it.
just letting things roll organically. Life is
I
organic.
admit it.
It is organic.
So-
when I water my
when I
water my flowers, when I water my flowers,
Okay, can we come back to love? Let's come back to love. Let's come back to love. Let's come back to love.
That's all I use is water. It has to grow. That's the only thing that they get from me. So that's what it has to be like.
So here's the thought that I have as I listen to both of you. I can see you both love each other very much. Am I right?
I love him. I can't speak for him.
Papers.
I like to listen, Miss Christina. I do less talking. I only talk when it's time. But
What?
I like to listen. I like to listen more.
You didn't get that experience.
I like to listen more. I went to college, right? So all we had to do, we couldn't talk in college because we had to write everything down that the professor was saying. So all I do is when people are talking, I try to listen first and then calculate what I'm going to say later because I like to think first before I go ahead and
That
talk.
means you're not fully listening because you got to listen. You don't calculate. You're not calculating while you're listening. You're listening, to hear, and to understand. That's the stuff that I teach. My job is that's what I teach.
All right, Christina, be the voice of reason.
You
right
can't
now
fully
and-
listen.
Do you know?
Fully listen if you're calculating.
And try to let her understand what I'm talking about, because like she said earlier, she didn't understand what we were talking about. So I think.
So can I just give a thought?
Go ahead.
Just a thought. I think you both have a perspective of truth. And I think there is an opportunity to get quiet with each other and to share what you need from each other. Just my thinking. And then to infuse it with great love and appreciation.
I do. I have great love and appreciation. It's like I stop and I listen and I let everybody talk. And then when I have my turn, I speak. But most of the time when I'm speaking, I'm talking over.
Well, I think it's my job not to fix you. It's my job to stand next to you while you find your way together.
Yes.
So we can dial in for another session and then we can work through some more with lots of mindfulness reps in between. What do you think, Papers? What do you think, Janet?
That would be nice. I would love it.
Papers.
I don't like me personally, I don't like putting personal business out there. So I like to talk in general.
It's not.
But then when you personalize things, it gets touchy because it's like what she's feeling is not coming from me. It's coming from past endeavors. So now those past endeavors, it's like when you get beat up so much, and then now the next person that you go, you beat up on them because you've been beat up so much. So that's basically what she's doing because I'm here in her corner, you know what I'm saying, still standing strong and still just, letting things take its path. So as time goes on, I will learn everything. I want to learn everything. So I watch. I don't try to step in and do something that I don't know how to do. That's not me. I'm not going to get up there and be like, oh,
No, but
you know what I mean? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to watch and I'm going to watch. I don't care if it takes me 3 weeks, 4 weeks, even if it takes a year, if that's how long it got to take. But I will not, you know what I mean, put my personal business out there online for the world to see. It's not. So we can do something one-on-one.
We're fixing ourselves.
Absolutely right. We can do something one-on-one, but not live.
So can I bring my puffer fish in here? What happened here? Did we pop?
Well, yeah, we popped. I just wanted to say one thing.
I was talking about my female.
I'm gonna ask her,
and then it just went somewhere else. And I just wanted to find out a solution for my wife to understand her ethnicity and how to not cover it up and how to live with it. You know,
well,
and
first of all,
that's what I was trying to figure out. You know, but
Listen, all I'll say about that is I hope I've answered the questions about embracing who we are, because we can't fight who we are. We just are. I can't fight where I've come from. I can't fight that I've got Indian, African, Arabic, British, Polynesian Islander. How the hell, man, is that even possible? Okay.
I don't speak on it because it doesn't mean shit to me.
See, we're over here, we call it a melting pot. See, I'm Dominican, Cherokee, and Irish. So it's just one big melting pot inside of me.
But why is the focus on that? All these different ethnicities mixed up. Why?
Do you know why? Because
have to live in this world with all of them.
You know why? Because I think we all search for our story of belonging. I think we're all searching for our place. And that shouldn't separate us, that should bring us together. But if I say I am Australian versus I am a born South African with genetic links to most places in the world, now residing in Australia, and I'm a human here for other humans, how much better is my life?
Okay.
How much better is my life?
It should be much more than what it is. You know what I mean?
How cool is that? And I think this comes back down to why it's so important to grow who we are. Like, I think we've had some lighthouse moments even today as we were talking.
Yes, in the beginning. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So and each trigger point. Yeah, and each trigger point we have is a lighthouse moment. It is calling us to grow versus calling us to separate who we are. Each moment.
Yeah.
Each moment.
You're
okay.
Right. That's really right.
Our natural instinct though is to push away and go, whew, I'm uncomfortable, but discomfort calls us to grow.
Yes.
It calls us to move forward into the discomfort versus away from it.
We got to work on that. Those are the things that we really need to work on, because like a lot of things are being like misunderstood because the thoughts come before the words come out.
The thoughts come before the words come, and the thoughts come because it's taken us years to be who we are. So we're wired that way.
No, but what I was trying to say was the thoughts come before the words come out. Therefore, the person that you're talking to doesn't understand the full concept of the statement that you're trying to make. So the statement that I was trying to make is not put his business out there, that you said something about achieving and working or whatever. And he thought he made a score. I thought it was a foul. I have every right to think that it was a foul, just on that one point, not on everything going his whole life or family life or anything like that. Just one thing, because I'm not trying to bring anything out, but like I was saying that I was a stickler for details. I was just going to say that I need a few details.
Okay.
So not to put anything out there, but they do understand. I don't say they and all that. Papers understands the details.
Okay. How are we going, Papers?
I don't know. Me personally, I just think, at times, I mind my business. You know what I mean? Like, at certain times.
Upper level podcast.
I understand. I'm not talking about that, but I'm just saying. She asked me a question, so I'm just saying what I can't explain what you want me to feel like. I can only explain how I feel. And this is what you got to understand. If you don't know, you're not a genie. You don't know what's going on in somebody's head. You can't tell them what to say and what not to say because you're not that person. So they may take things 1,000 different ways.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's more than one way to spin a cat.
We have different jobs, and I keep trying to pull him into helping me with my job because it all pertains to this. Me and him sitting here together.
I'm helping. I'm here. I'm here every
He's
day.
helping, he's here.
And I'm talking, and I'm
the camera,
I'm being intellectual.
And
I'm talking. I'm bringing so much out of other people. Is that like if you go back and you look at all the,
and he won't hear that.
All the podcasts.
We're gonna say goodbye.
It's what. I have to say, the two of you have given me much joy today.
So you see how messed up we are and how much we need to grow, Christina. I'm going to stay in touch with you. I got to do this.
Papers, it was nice to meet you.
Oh, listen.
He's puffed up now.
No, I'm never, nobody can get me out of my character. Nobody but me. You know what I mean? I've already found, stepped inside of my head and I figured life out, and I figured I got to think for other people. So other people will never get me out of character.
I'm not trying to get you out of character. I love you too much for that. I just need. I just wish that people.
I'm
very needy. That's my problem.
Now I understand women because they're so needy at times when they should just be they should be flow. Let things flow. Let the river flow. And if you sit back and just let the foot do what it do, add a little bit of add a little bit of control, just a little bit of control. You know what I'm saying? Because the water going to take you, but just add a little bit of control, but not too much that we flip over, and capsize. That's what's going to happen if she doesn't just let it just naturally come off the tongue.
You gotta stop trying to
flip over. We're gonna be in a kayak and we're gonna be flipped over.
You gotta stop trying to figure out women
underwater. Drowning. I figured out women. I got 17 sisters. Listen,
and he still ain't figured it out yet.
And I got two wives. I got 2 wives, Christina. I've been in a marriage for 13 years straight. 13 years straight, and I took care of my wife. And I took care of so I still take care of that same family.
I'm sorry.
Even though I'm with my new family, I still got to send money over there. So I'm taking care of that family too. So just let it flow. That's all. Just let it flow. And this is what my wife understands now. My ex-wife, she understands. Damn, I should just let it flow. Just let it flow.
So here's the thing.
Too much nitpicking is just going. We're gonna capsize.
But this is not called the paper band. This is the Comfort Level Podcast.
And that's why I don't do more than what I'm supposed to do. I do what I'm told to do, and that's it. And I bring the elevation. I bring the intuitiveness. I talk with clarity. I bring that.
Why?
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that I need to put defining me, putting a keypad doesn't define me, because I can talk to you and say, hey, you people, go follow Christina Foxwell. Get her book. That's still promotion.
And where would you
get
still
promotion? It's still promotion. You know what I'm saying? No matter if it's splashed over IG or whether I talk it out and I say something about it. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you. We're going to get your book on Amazon.com, and also people can go to ignitepurpose.com/AU and find out more information on Christina Foxwell.
Yes, indeed.
We're so glad to have you. I know we're a little messed up, and that's
Christine,
Listen.
you should have got paid for the day, girl, because you did your job today. You
Listen.
shoulda got paid for the-
I'm gonna sell a lot of books. Trust me. I'm gonna
Listen,
sell a lot of books.
when I come to, when you're in New York, right? Are you in New York?
New Jersey.
New Jersey. I'm going to come visit you guys in New Jersey when I can travel.
Okay.
Okay? Let's do that thing.
If we didn't tell you, Christina's all the way from Sydney, Australia. So when she comes here,
We're going to make a big party, man.
I'll probably be quiet. Me and Papers probably won't even have nothing to say. You don't think it really can happen? Because my nephew, God bless him, he got his kidney. He was looking for a kidney for over 10 years. Okay. And we met a lady online. We called her the kidney lady.
Yes.
But actually, she came to all our houses. Everybody that she met online, she did a world tour and she went to all their houses. She came to my house for pot roast and I made it.
Nice.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna come and see you guys because I'd like to do that. I wanna come and just be part of a world where I can make a difference and just share love. So
yes, and we'll be able to cook for you too because my baby mother, she is a world-renowned chef.
Woo!
Thank you for coming to the
Everything,
podcast.
anything and everything that you want.
I'm going to talk to you on Facebook.
Thank you, Janet.
And we'll follow you. And I will be promoting and exposing your articles.
Thank you so much. And thank you for being part of my world too. I'll be pushing your radio show out as well. And I'm just grateful to hopefully have touched your lives a bit today.
Right,
absolutely.
Thank you.
We appreciate you, Christina.
Have a good day.
I send you love.
All right.
Love you.
Bye.
Yeah, it's your boy Paperman back with a banger, man. Sitting here with Janie Schmanny on the Comfort Level podcast at WCMD Media. And we was just on with Christina Foxwell from Australia, baby, doing her thing. Go cop a book called Grow Me.
It's time that we start opening our eyes and see shit for what it really is.
Really love inspiration.
And not what we want it to be. Because everything that glitters ain't gold. Open your eyes to behold. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. All my sisters follow me. This is my prayer. Yeah. All my sisters follow me. This is my prayer. Yeah, yeah. This is my prayer. This is my prayer. This is my prayer.
Show up.
This is my prayer. All my brothers come to me. This is my prayer. Yeah.
Thanks everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much. We had a great interview. We're not nobody's arguing, nobody's fighting. We're working on ourselves. So this is the things that we gotta work on. You know, all the time.
The struggle is real. The pain and hurt I feel.
You know, the struggle is real. Some of us feel pain, some of us can't accept the truth. You know, not that it's to put things out online, but Christina, she really opened our eyes to a lot of things. And if you can't talk about the things that weigh on your heart, I think that is being fake. And there's no way. I have never, ever been fake in my life. I need help. I reached out to my family, my friends, and the public, especially the person that sits beside me all the time. I need a little bit more. It's not okay for me to say it. It's not okay for me to require more. Keep my business off of this. I'm getting things that's not my business. I don't want. So, with that being said, this is the end of the show. And see you guys next Tuesday. Who do we got coming in? Tuesday, I believe it's going to be Jernika, the Mogul Queen, live in person.